Hey, welcome back to Fat Mama Physics. We are continuing with multiplying rational numbers. Sorry it took a little longer introducing the board game in the last video. And this video, I am going to finish off 1.4 multiplying rational numbers. It's only one page, so let's begin. Here we just have a few reminders here with multiplying rational numbers. It's pretty much exactly the same thing that you dealt with when multiplying integers. So a few rules. If you have two numbers that have the same sign, either plus and positive and positive, or if you have negative versus negative, then after you multiply the two, your product is going to be positive. Okay? On the other hand, if you have two rational numbers, just like integers, if they have opposite signs, like positive times a negative or a negative times a positive, remember the order doesn't matter in multiplication, then your final product is going to be negative. Okay? So that's just the rule that you've known all this time. Except now you have to multiply fractions, decimals, with whole numbers. Okay, so that's the only difference here. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples. Starting with A, we have two negative numbers. After they multiply here, that's going to be positive. So we just, again, multiply top by top, bottom by bottom. We're just going to get 3 over 10. Over here, we have two positives. Same thing, 3 times 1, 2 times 5 is 10. And over here, we got two negatives. This is 1.5 times 1.8. This one, I will pull out a calculator. Okay, so I get, and when I put it in a calculator, since I know that I'm going to get a positive, I don't even bother putting in a negative sign. That's going to give me 2.7. Okay, same thing here, which I just put in my calculator. That's going to give me 2.7 as well. Okay, so next up here, I have pretty much exactly the same numbers I had in the previous example, except that one of them is a negative, one of them is a positive. So all I have to do here is just, I get negative 3 over 10, and this one is just negative 3 over 10 as well, since only one of the numbers is negative. Here, I'm going to get exactly the same number, 2.7, except one of the numbers is negative, so I'm going to get negative 2.7, and this one the second number is negative, so I still get negative 2.7. Very easy, it's just a quick check of that understanding there. Okay, so let's keep going. So keep in mind that anytime when you're multiplying two numbers, you could also rewrite it using brackets. If two numbers are bracketed next to each other, it also means multiplication. And here we got some examples down here where we see some numbers that are side by side, but are bracketed, so they must be multiplying each other. How about this? I am going to do example B. Actually, I'll do A. I'll let you do B. So I'll circle the ones that I will do with, and maybe you can do the rest over here. So I'll do these guys. So I'll do every other question basically. Okay, starting with A. Ooh, A looks a little ugly. It's got two numbers bracketed by one another. And the nice thing I think that we can do here is we can simplify the two fractions first. Remember cross-simplifying. For example, 7 and 21 can be divided by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 21 divided by 7 gives me 3. I can also cross-simplify here, 11 and 44. If I divide this top by 11, I get 1. This over here, 44 divided by 11 gives me 4, in which the fraction that I'm left with is negative 1 over 1 times negative 3 over 4. So this is the benefit of knowing your multiplication tables very well, is that way you can see all these number connections. Now I just have to multiply two easy numbers to give my final answer. First of all, my answer is going to be positive since I have two negative numbers. Just to remind me right there, 1 times 3 is going to give me 3, 1 times 4 is going to give me 4, or basically just something multiplied by 1 is going to give me this one. Okay, 3 over 4. Woof, that was easy. Okay, B, guess what? You get to try B. Good time to pause the video. Okay, I gotta do B very quickly. So here I can set this number here. Remember, we can always set a number over 1 as a fraction because that does not change that number. I know my final answer is going to be negative because I only have one negative number and between the two that I'm multiplying. Here I have 2 times 4 is 8, 5 times 1 is 5, and that's it. This is my number here. All right. I gotta do C. I'm gonna do C together with us. It looks uglier, especially with mixed numbers. Don't forget to convert these to improper fractions. So let's rewrite them out. First of all, I'm gonna have 2 times 3, which is 6, plus 2 is 8. I have 8 over 3 for my first improper fraction. Don't forget the negative sign in the second one. Oftentimes students will forget that. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. I have 7 over 4. Don't forget the negative sign. Now I can multiply top and multiply by bottom. 7, or let's put the negative sign out in front first so I don't forget I have a negative sign. I have 8 times 7. Oh, wait a minute. You know what I'm going to do first? Just to make our lives a little bit easier. Let's simplify, cross-simplify again. Okay, so between the 8 and the 4, we can do a cross-simplifying there. If I divide this 8 by 4, I'm going to get 2. If I divide this 4 by 4, I'm going to get 1. Guess what? Now I have 2 times 7. Don't forget, I have the negative sign in front already. 2 times 7 is going to be 14. 3 times 1 is just going to be 3. So notice cross-simplifying makes our lives a lot easier. Guess what? It is your turn to try D. You know what? It's decimals. If you have to use a calculator, use your calculator. But don't forget whether or not the negative sign needs to be there. Good time to pause the video. Okay, so you know what? Since I am not going to require you to really do this out mentally, let's do this one on a calculator. 0.8 times 2.4. Notice I'm too lazy to put in the negative sign, but I know exactly if it goes in or not. So I'm going to get 1.92. Okay, 1.92. I know this is going to be a negative number since I have one number here that I'm multiplying that's going to be negative. Therefore, that is my answer. Okay, E is my job. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to determine if my answer is positive or negative. Okay, and I have 3 numbers, 2 of which are negative. So if I multiply them in order, I get negative times negative. That's going to give me a positive number. A positive number times a positive number will also give me a positive number. My final answer will be positive. So I don't need to worry about putting in that negative sign when I am putting these in my calculator. I'm going to get 3 times 0.7 times 5.2. 10.92. 10.92. Okay, there you go. That's our final answer for decimals. I said I will do this one with us together, and the reason is because I kind of want to show some cross-simplifying here. You know what? If you want to try... Oh, wait a sec. Oh, you know what? I did E. You're supposed to do F. Sorry about that. Hey, when will you give this a try? Try to do some cross-simplifying before you actually do the multiplication this time. Well, good time to pause the video and give it a try. Okay, my turn to show us the rest of this one. So first things first, I see 7 and 21. I can divide 21 by 7 to give me a 3. And 7 divided by 7 is going to give me 1. So notice you don't have to do it for every single number. You just have to do it to one set of numbers. Because why? All the numbers on the top are being multiplied. All the numbers on the bottom are being multiplied as well. There's only one number that appears at the top and the bottom, and that's all you need to cancel them out. Okay, so you don't need to cancel them out on every single fraction there because they're all multiplying one another. Okay, next up we can cancel out the 6. So I have 6. I can divide by 2, which is going to give me 3. 2 divided by 2 is going to give me 1. So in the end of the day, I'm going to get these as the fractions that are being multiplied. I get 1 over 3, negative 4 over 3, and this one is going to be 1 over 3. Ah, isn't that much nicer to work with? My final answer I know is going to be negative, since there is one negative out of the whole series or whole set over here. Because I have positive times negative is going to give me a negative. The negative times a positive is also going to give me a negative. Then I multiply the top. 1 times 4 times 1 is going to give me 4. 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And that is the simplified and most simplified fraction that we can have. So, guess what? This is the end of the multiplying rational numbers lesson. Hopefully, this lesson will help you do the rest of your problems. I wish you good luck, and Fat Mama Physics signing out.